Um, okay, so tonight I watched Ava DuVernay's feature film debut. Her first film that she directed was a documentary. I still have not managed to find that, but this is her feature film debut. It was called "I Will Follow," after the U2 song, which once you've watched it, you'll get that reference. It was also written by Ava DuVernay and made its debut at the Urban World Festival in 2010, but it was released theatrically in 2011. So it's one of those movies where you're like, is it a 2010 movie? Is it a 2011 movie? I tend to try to go with theatrical, so I've decided it's a 2011 movie. Anyways, it follows. It's pretty much a day in a life movie, like in a little bit the next morning, of a woman played by Sally Richardson Whitfield, who was on, for the most part, is probably best known for, I'm really terrible at talking, Eureka, which I have not seen, but she was on 77 episodes, so I'm assuming most people know her from that. And a really interesting Mario Van Peebles movie that I was looking up on her IMDb, and now I feel like I need to see that next year. Anyways, so her name is May, and she's packing up a home in Topanga Canyon that she lived in for a year with her aunt. I'm so tired. I'm botching this. Okay, her aunt, played by Beverly Todd, who, just type her name into Google Images and you'll be like, oh yes, that lady, because she's been in everything. Who was a sessions drummer, and they lived together for a year while she was ill, and then she has died now, and so her niece is now packing up the house. And there's a few flashbacks to mostly one day with her aunt, because she's wearing the same outfit, and it's a really great yellow outfit. And throughout the day, shenanigans happen, and you see the various friends and family members and even strangers who are coming to help her pack up as they interact with May is the name of the character. So you've got her cousin, who was actually the daughter of the woman, and she's got a lot of issues, and she calls her boyfriend on the phone, played by none other than Blair Underwood. And then he's got such a good voice. And then various other people show up. One of my favorite of the little scenes is with a woman who comes to collect the satellite dish, and their conversation is really interesting. I also take a look at what her aunt was DVRing. It's really awesome. And it was a really great flashback to when her aunt was even younger, it's supposed to be in the 80s. Or it wasn't a flashback, it was a video of her aunt in the 80s as a drummer, and she's so badass with pink lips and dark sunglasses and just drumming the heck out of everything. So that was an interesting film because it really deals with a woman going through the stages of grief in a day. It's a wonderfully plotted film where the entire journey is within the character. Those don't always work, because it's really difficult. You have to have a great actor or actress at the core of it to make an emotional journey type film really, really work, especially when it's all taking place in a house. What else? So I don't know if I'd actually seen anything with Sally Richardson Whitfield before, but she was wonderful. Oh, Omari Hardwick shows up. He's also in Middle of Nowhere, Ava DuVernay's second film, and he's also on Being Mary Jane and several other things, and he's really hot. So anytime he shows up, I'm like, yes, I'm okay with that. And there's a couple of really funny jokes that I don't want to spoil the jokes because I'm terrible at telling jokes, but it's a drama, but there's some good jokes in there. Where they're talking to each other and they tell jokes. What else? A lot of good fashion. It's just, if you're an independent filmmaker or a student filmmaker and you want to see a very solid, simple story done really well on a really small budget without looking shitty, this is a good film to study because it hits all the right parts. It's like everything is just solid. I didn't like it quite as much as I liked Middle of Nowhere. Middle of Nowhere felt a lot more polished. But I just feel like she's such an amazing filmmaker, and we're so lucky to have her making films right now, guys. So this is on Netflix. It just got added, I think. And Middle of Nowhere was on Netflix for a while last fall, and then it was gone again. So she watched this right away, or it might disappear. Who knows? It's really just a very solid film.